Let's talk about the most powerful natural tools available for OCD in the areas of therapies and treatments, dietary and lifestyle practices, and also some other more exotic stuff that you can't do yet because it's illegal, but maybe one day soon you will be able to. So first, of course, there's the traditional cognitive behavioral therapy. I would say that's step one and the base foundation upon which you can also add in here everything else that we're going to be talking about. Now, the next thing I would add on right as a real essential layer on top of that would be neurofeedback. It's something you may or may not be familiar with, but neurofeedback is a very powerful tool for optimizing the way that the mind works, training it out of these deep grooves that it may have fallen into in ways that the mind felt was necessary to do at one time because of a great stress or a trauma or whatever has happened in the past that led to this. But those grooves are no longer functional, but it's stuck in those. And neurofeedback is an amazing system that can be used under the guidance of a real great practitioner to guide it back into more balanced and healthy and optimized functioning. I have done a great deal of neurofeedback myself. I've never had OCD, but I've done a lot of neurofeedback and continue to do it to this day. And it's an extraordinarily powerful tool for optimization, whether you have OCD, whether you have past stress or trauma issues, or whether you're just looking to optimize the way that your mind functions in this world. Of course, decreasing stress for OCD is going to be another huge thing. Now, the last thing you need to do is look that OCD person in the eye and say, you just need to stop stressing. That never works. It actually 99.9% of the time directly backfires. So look at the best tools for decreasing stress and anxiety. You can have herbs. You can have things like ashwagandha and reishi mushroom and rhodiola and hoshu wu. These are incredible for bringing about a little more peace in the nervous system and in the brain. And then you can also think about things like meditation. That's another big one, of course, for bringing down stress. Jumping back a little bit, I want to say again, neurofeedback here. You come out of a neurofeedback session, you feel so zen, so in the zone. The feeling is really something quite spectacular. And then also having an anti-inflammatory diet. This ties right in to the stress because when you have a lot of systemic inflammation, this is actually altering brain structures and neurotransmitter functions in a way that's going to contribute to OCD and it's going to contribute to stress. So getting inflammatory foods, getting processed foods, getting funky like plant oils for the most part, like olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil, MCT oil, great. When we talk about things like canola oil and vegetable oils like soy, for example, these things are spectacularly inflammatory and are not something you want anywhere near your body. Then exercising is going to be another good one that helps work off a lot of the stress. It also helps just bring so many other elements of physical health into balance. And the other side of that coin is going to be making sure you rest enough, make sure you're getting really high quality sleep. It only takes a small amount of sleep deprivation for the successful functioning of the brain to absolutely go off a cliff. Only a small bit. So you really want to go watch our whole video on this. We'll put a link to it. If you're watching on YouTube, we'll put a link up here in one of the corners. I always forget which one it's going to pop in. But we'll put a link up there to a whole guide to how to structure your day and your evening to lead into the optimal night of sleep. And the next thing I want to talk about is I have to be careful about how I word this because I can't recommend that you do this because it's illegal in most places, except for I think maybe Oakland and Denver, but then it's still federally illegal if you're within the United States and you can't be in Oakland or Denver without being in the United States. So basically it's illegal unless you live somewhere else in the world. That's much more interesting. And this is psilocybin. And so this you can't use nowadays because it's illegal. You will go to jail. But we're just going to talk in theory about research that's been done here. And this may be something that you can revisit in the future if the law should happen to change. And so Early preliminary clinical research with psilocybin has shown very promising beneficial effects on OCD. Now, what is happening here? Well, it's always hard to say when things are happening in the brain. It's such a complex place. It's always hard to say exactly what the mechanics are, but here's what's theorized. So it's theorized that the psilocybin is actually interacting with different serotonin receptors in the brain, including those which are regulating certain of the brain regions where OCD is very connected to. And they've shown that in these studies anyways, treatment with multiple doses of psilocybin was actually able to change the binding activity of serotonin receptors in such a way that the symptoms were dramatically reduced. So that is a bit of information to store away. You absolutely should not do anything actively except store that information away. It would be wrong and would make you and me both bad people who deserve to be incarcerated. So definitely don't do that. Just store that information away. And that's all I'm going to say about that. If you have tried any of these and found them helpful, or if any of this is new to you, I always love getting feedback from you guys. It helps me get better at what I'm doing here, making these videos and trying to share the most helpful information I possibly can with you. So let me know down in the comments. It would be a huge help. And it's also so supportive to our channel if you just take a moment to click the like button and hit subscribe. It doesn't cost you a cent, and it does so much to help us get our educational information out there so we can help you and help other people as well. And if you want to spend a few dollars in supporting us, go check out our website, addictivewellness.com, where we have some amazing adaptogens for supporting the health of the mind and body, delicious chocolates for doing the same kind of stuff, and amazing mycotoxin-free cacao powder that you can make into all kinds of delicious creations. Have an amazing day, guys, and look forward to seeing you again next time.